I'm Kristen Mitchell. I'm the founder of Dogology, and I am obsessed with keeping dogs healthy in natural ways. So today we're going to be talking about herbs that support your dog's health, reduce anxiety, help them with digestion, and all sorts of other symptoms. So let's start out talking about keeping your dog calm. So herbs are amazing for keeping us calm and for keeping our dogs calm as well. So the first one that I recommend is chamomile. So you may at night have a nice chamomile tea to calm yourself down before bed. Well, it has the same effect on our dogs. So you can just brew a cup for yourself and a cup for your dog, let your dogs cool down to room temperature, and then you can just put a little bit in their dinner and it will help them calm down before bed. Just make sure you don't have any of the teas that have caffeine in them. Some chamomile teas will actually have other ingredients in them. So just make sure it's a decaffeinated chamomile tea and you both can have your chamomile tea and relax in the evening together. Another great herb for your dog is valerian root. So it actually relieves anxiety. It helps with separation anxiety as well. I know a lot of you are dealing with dogs that struggle with separation anxiety. So valerian root might be something that you want to try. With this herb, you want to either get a capsule or maybe a tincture that you find at a Whole Foods store, but you want to make sure that you get something that is created for dogs and not for humans for this one. And also you want to start really small. You want to just do a little bit at a time. And of course, with all of these herbs, you want to check with your vet first and just make sure that herbs are right for your dog. Another one I love for calming my dogs down is passion fruit flower. So this one can really help with hyperactivity, anxiety, restlessness. If they're really struggling and they seem like they have way too much energy, even though they've had exercise, this is a great one to use to just help them calm down. And just go slow with this one too, just a little bit at a time. So next, let's talk about digestion. If your dog is struggling with digestive issues, you could try a couple of these different herbs to help them out. The first one is ginger, and it can actually help with several different things. It can help with nausea, it can help with motion sickness or car sickness, and it also helps with bloating. So ginger is pretty amazing. They did a ton of studies with people, and they compared the motion sickness medications that you buy at the drugstore, and they had the other group of people just take ginger, and every single time the ginger actually worked better for motion sickness. So if you have a dog that's struggling with being in the car and getting sick, ginger is definitely something you should try. So you could either put a little bit of fresh ginger right into their food or do ginger tea, which you want to brew pretty lightly. You don't want to make a strong ginger tea. It has a very strong flavor. So you want to make a nice weak tea and then cool it off for them and give them a little bit of that. Another great herb is slippery elm. So slippery elm is good for us and our dogs. It helps soothe our digestive tract. So if your dog is struggling with constipation, diarrhea, either way, slippery elm could very well help. So that's something you want to use when your dog is having bad digestion. So you can get slippery elm in a powder form and you actually just mix it with a little water and it becomes a little paste. And then you give them a little bit of that when their stomach is upset. But you just want to make sure that you don't give it with other medication, and definitely check with your doctor if your dog is on medication, because that's something that you want to take separate from the medication that your dog is on. Another one is fennel, which also helps with digestion. If your dog has a little bit of gas, it's really good for that as well, and it freshens their breath. So I know some people ask me, my dog has bad breath, what do I do? First of all, we want to make sure we're brushing our dog's teeth and keeping our teeth clean. I just did a video about how to keep your dog's teeth clean that I will link to under this video. But also a little bit of fennel goes a long way, so you could use that as well. So with fennel, you can sprinkle a little fennel seed right on their food, but you want to be careful. Dogs that have seizures or conditions like that should not have fennel, so definitely, again, check with your vet. I have a couple bonus herbs for you also today. One of them is milk thistle, which is sort of like an overall health tonic for dogs. It helps a lot with liver health. So if your dog goes through like a round of antibiotics or some kind of strong medication, milk thistle is nice to do afterwards because it just soothes their liver and their system and kind of helps to get them back on track. So milk thistle isn't something that you want to give all the time. It's definitely for a short period of time after your dog has been through some kind of stress like medication. You want to work with your vet on this one and just get a product designed for dogs for sure. And my last one is turmeric. Turmeric is an amazing herb for us and our dogs. So turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory. We all have inflammation in our body, and our dogs have too, just from general stresses, the food that they eat, the toxins that are around us. So we want to have something that's taking that inflammation and passing it out of the body, which is what turmeric is so good at. So it is a great anti-inflammatory. It also supports their joints and boosts their immunity. So an all-around great herb for our dogs. So with turmeric, a little bit goes a long way. We want to take just a little tiny pinch, put it in their food, and we need to add a healthy oil like olive oil in order for it to absorb. So it needs to be partnered with something like just a little splash of olive oil in their food in order for that absorption to really happen. But that's something that I recommend getting your dog on and keeping them on, because that is a wonder herb for dogs. So just a few pointers. Make sure you start slowly with any of these herbs. You want to introduce one at a time. Don't all of a sudden do 3 or 4 herbs. You will not know what is affecting your dog if they have any kind of reaction. Definitely work with your vet. And if your vet is not open to herbs, maybe there's a holistic vet in your area that you could have a chat with. And not all herbs are safe for dogs. So if you're taking some kind of herb, don't just go ahead and give it to your dog. Make sure you do your research and check to see that that herb is safe for dogs as well. So if you want a little bit of a guide of which ones are the best to buy and where to get them, I have a page in my shop where I have gathered together all of the herbal supplements and products that I recommend. It's just a collection of things that I have looked at, that I have done the research on, so that you don't have to wonder if the product is good for your dog. So you can go ahead and jump over to that page and go through all the different herbs and decide which one you're going to try first. I'll put the link right down in the description for you guys. And let me know. Put a comment in the comments and let me know which herb you try, and let me know how it goes. All right, make sure you subscribe so that you know when I put out my next video. And I hope everything is going great with you and your dog.